See if this rings a bell. You've probably heard of people selling on Amazon and finding new products that make them money every single day. Or even hearing about their high revenue numbers because of all of the profitable products that they find. Well, here's the thing. Finding products to sell on Amazon is easier than ever. But the problem is, most people still don't know how to do it. And the sellers who are doing well right now aren't glued to their screen hoping to find a winner. Instead, they have a way to see opportunities almost instantly. If you've been wondering how to find products without sinking in time, money, or energy, this is going to open your eyes. For most beginners, product research feels like chasing a shadow. You scroll for hours, click through endless listings, open up dozens of tabs, and still end up with nothing that you're confident in. It's maddening because until you can find products that you know will sell, that potential life-changing money with Amazon will never be there. But the good news, what if there was a way to find dozens of products just in one single sourcing session every single day? Not a magic tool, not a lucky guess, just the most obvious way of looking at the market that tells you what's selling right now. All while most people are still searching in all of the wrong places, hoping for a prayer. The Amazon landscape is constantly shifting, and the sellers who can find inventory over and over again are the ones who are getting ahead. It's not about chasing one perfect product, it's about building a steady lead flow so that way you never have to guess of where your next opportunity is going to come from next. Let's be honest, if I wasn't able to source products in the way that I'm about to show you, I wouldn't have time to travel the world and explore new places every single day. So in this video, I'm going to share the exact approach that I use to find more than 50 product opportunities every single day, and how you can use the same method to keep your storefront full and sales high. It's simple once you see it, but most sellers or aspiring sellers still overthink this way. So here we are on an Amazon listing, and this process is very simple, but obviously it's often overlooked. So we're gonna go through it very, very slowly and carefully so you can get the entire step and the entire guide to make sure that you're doing it properly. So I'm on an Amazon listing here, and what you can see on the right of my screen is a software called SellerAmp, and this software is used to look at other sellers, calculate our profit, any information we know. And then of course, you've probably seen this before as well. And down here is the keeper chart. So these are the two data charts that we need to basically analyze if this product is good or not. But you might be asking, and I want to jump right to it. Well, how do you even land onto this product, right? Like, looks great, sells a lot of times per month, maybe has a really good price that we like, but how do you get here? That's one of the biggest things that's always left out in all of these videos is how do you actually get to this listing? So there's two ways to create basically what I call it a spark listing. And when I call a spark listing, I'm meaning one listing that we can use to then find other products from, which we're going to dive into it using SellerAmp here on the right. But to find that spark listing, all you literally do is, let's dive into a regular Amazon.com search bar. This is where I am. And I typed in health and household cream, okay? Get creative. Use whatever you like, throw a brand out there, throw anything out there, throw a different category out there. You could say tools and home improvements and throw a brand out there like Milwaukee, right? If you're familiar with this stuff, if you use this stuff, guys, just throw it out there and see what pops up in the search bar. I've been using this tactic since day one when I had no softwares, no anything, no data on how to actually start sourcing products or make decisions. So by throwing this into the search bar, right, health and household cream, or like I said, tools and home improvements, equipment, right? You could literally throw anything out there. I first put that into the search bar. Then here on the left side of things, I go and I manipulate the price because I don't want to sell products, and you shouldn't want to sell products that are $120, right? Especially in the early days because the risk is much higher. And you don't want to sell products that are $4 because it's much harder to make money. So I manipulate this pricing here and I go in between something that I would like $60 and $20, okay? And you can do that. And then when you hit go, it's going to bring you to a different site, basically a different page of products that are more particular to you, right? That fit your page better. You're basically just telling Amazon, this is what I want and bring it to my table. And guys, this is Amazon.com, right? It's completely free to search for products on Amazon.com, whether you're a consumer or you're just being a seller. Now, what's important here is because my interface here on Amazon might look a bit different than as you shop as a customer or when you're searching through products as a seller, as a potential seller, because I have a software here called DS QuickView, and it's also a completely free software to use. And what DS QuickView is, similar to Keepa and SellerAmp, it's basically like this fast track of information. So DS QuickView pops up on every potential Amazon listings, like all of these listings here are potential Amazon listings, and it pops up with very, very quick and basically subtle and initial information. So it's going to tell me what the category is, how many sellers, if there's any variations, and down here it's going to pop up in yellow if it's sold by Amazon. Now, of course, we don't want to compete with listings that are sold by Amazon because Amazon's just going to dominate the listing, dominate the sale, and we're never going to have an opportunity to actually make real money because Amazon's going to win all the sales for themselves. So we want to make sure that it doesn't have Amazon on the listing. It has more than, I would say, 10 to 12, even 8 is okay, but sellers, and the sales volume is good, okay? And that way we know that, all right, there's more than 8 to 10 to 12 sellers on this. That means it's not a exclusive, a private label, or a brand that we can't sell. It's one that invites third-party sellers like these do, and we can start the party, okay? So literally, this is just one way of getting that initial spark source site is what I like to call it. Now, if you just scroll down here, you just keep scrolling, you basically just analyze every single product and see which ones stand out to you, right? This has 7 sellers. Would this work? Sold by Amazon? No, right? And you keep kind of going down the list, thoroughly, little by little, and keep trying to see if anything, sparks your interest or anything like that. Now, as you can see here, like this has 2 sellers. This is $27. Would this work? It's a decent sales volume. Check it out. Open it up and go through that process there. Now, the second way of doing it, actually, before I jump right into that, I want to point out there's a few opportunities kind of right in front of us. This product here, $17.40, not bad pricing, really good sales volume, and it's a pack of 4. Okay, a pack of 4, which is there's a lot of opportunities in the multi-packs and the bundles, has a good BSR and has 19 sellers. I would click on this listing and do what I'm about to show you in the next few minutes to create 10, 20, 30, 40 products within just one sourcing session, literally, okay? So here's an opportunity of finding a Spark source site, maybe something like this that I came across. Now, the second way of finding a Spark source site, which is, obviously the initial step into getting to what I'm about to show you, is going through Keepa Product Finder. Now, Keepa, as what we saw here on the Amazon listing here at the bottom, is the data and the information that you would need to basically make a proper buying decision, if it's a good product or if it's not a good product. And if you guys want to check this out, I have tons of videos on the channel on breaking down Keepa and going in depth of why Keepa is good, how it works, and some information about it. Now, you actually go into Keepa here on the back end, right? Keepa.com, and they have a tool called Product Finder. So what you do here with Keepa Product Finder, just to go over it very briefly, you would type in some of your preferences, like what the sales rank is, what the price it sells at. Let's say we want to stay between 60 and 20, something like this. And a lot of this stuff is unnecessary. You don't have to fill it in. As you can tell, it's kind of like excess stuff. But you would go through all the tabs that you want to fill in. There's also a categories page here. We could say, hey, I just want to search through, arts and crafts, okay? And as you tick all these tabs, here on the right, your current filter is what it's called. Your available products, which is 2.2 million. That's a ton of products in the arts category, is going to continue to go down. So you're able to filter your search more and more. And then when you get to a small enough search, literally just hit find products, and then it's going to bring you to a product page, which let's do it. And you can break down all of these products one by one until you find a potential good listing to then use as a Spark listing. Now, again, guys, this isn't what I'm about to show you in finding 30 to 40, 50 products a day, because this will take probably a bit more time, but it's a great way to find that one listing that sparks the entire source, okay? And as you can see here, there's millions of products that we can search through and find a really good listing, kind of like we did with this process. So there's 2 processes to find that initial Spark listing. Now, if we dive back here into the actual listing that we were breaking down, this is the method, the sole method to find tons and tons, and there's probably even more than 50 products per day at this point, with this one sourcing strategy called reverse sourcing. And here you are stealing like an artist from other sellers, because if sellers are selling these products successfully, they're buying from a good supplier, why not we do the same exact thing and just share some sales and some buy box, right? And the good thing is, every single listing has a number of different amount of sellers, okay? So if you dive into it here on the right now, where it says Russell, right? Requise Russell, this particular seller, there's 21 sellers on this entire listing. That's what SellerAmp tells us. So if I click on this seller's name, which I'm going to do here, it's going to bring me to the entire storefront of the seller. So now what's going to pop up is every single product that this seller sells. And like we said, you can probably infer that they have some profitable products here and they're doing some stuff successfully. Not every seller is going to be doing great or have a lot of successful products, but the good news is there's literally 20 sellers to look through here, okay? You can open up all of their storefronts, break down all of their products, and chances are you might find 1, 2, 3 products that are potentially good to sell from each seller. And the best part of that is, once you find a product that you think actually looks good from this particular seller, let's say, for example, let's just open up this product here, right? This Kong Air squeaky tennis ball toys. If I open this up into a new listing, this listing also has 23 sellers, most of them which won't be the same sellers in our initial listing. So you're gonna have access to 23 more new storefronts to source through and see which products that you can potentially sell, right? And of course, this goes down with preferences of how expensive the product is or how much sales per month it has. Like this one has 4,000 sales per month, which is a lot. But just going from basically one seller to the another, we've opened up our opportunity, or you can call it like our portfolio of opportunity, to many, many, many more sellers. Now we can go into the nitty gritty of stuff and making sure that we're finding sellers that are smaller in our category or in our size range that we can compete with. But look, just over hovering my cursor, you have this seller, Ship Titans, you have Bunmite, you have Story Labs, you have all of these sellers that are popping up here that we can open up their storefronts like I'm doing here and continue to search the products they have. Now, like I said before, some sellers aren't going to have all of the profitable products, but also the seller only has 5 products. But it doesn't matter. The opportunities are endless, because if we pop onto this seller's storefront, let's say, for example, Ship Titans, he's carrying 116 different products for us to analyze. Now, is 116 products going to fit our criteria and maybe work for us? Probably not, because the chances are we might have different preferences and so on. But even if we can find 3 to 4 to 5 profitable products from this seller's storefront, all we have to do is go onto that listing that we actually like. Let's say, for example, like we did it before. Let's say that this this wallet key card holder looks like a good opportunity for us. As we open up this listing, we're going to have another access to 13 more sellers, and the continue and the search goes on, right? And you continue to do the same exact process and have access to all of these opportunities. And guys, within just 10 minutes, as you can see here at the top, we almost have 3 to 4 storefronts open and 3 Amazon listings. And we've done that in not even the past 10 minutes of just sourcing through. And yeah, I know you may be saying like, Jay, well, we didn't even start looking for products. I have tons of videos of sourcing for an hour straight, an hour plus straight on doing this tactic and this method, which I'll link in the description below. But this method and tactic is the quickest way to find profitable products using other people's storefront, like I said, stealing like an artist, without having to pull our hair out and find what's coming next, where's our next product. Literally all you're doing is sitting down, opening up your laptop and analyzing what other people are doing and how they're doing it successfully. And through that method, you're gonna find 50, 100, 150, 200 products in a single sourcing session, right? So it's an unbelievable tactic. Double down on this and use more of this, and let me know if you guys want me to make more videos on this and reverse sourcing, because it's by far the easiest and best way to start selling on Amazon and finding products, because you're literally just copying and stealing like an artist. So see you guys for now. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think.